Hey, what is up? Thank you so much for taking the time out to watch this video. I'm super excited to show you exactly how I went from 22% body fat and stuck to becoming strong, more focused and in control without sacrificing my career, without sacrificing weekends with family and friends, and certainly without sacrificing my sanity. It all kicked off for me in 2018. I was 88 kilos and 22% body fat. And look, I'd been going to the gym for years, right? But I had absolutely nothing to show for it, as you can see on the left. I was carrying a lot of my fat around my midsection and felt slow and heavy. And look, I wasn't obese, right? But I wasn't fit either. And Sam, on the other hand, started a year later in 2019. He was the opposite, weighed a measly 58 kilos, had a very narrow frame and could barely fill out a t-shirt. And he'd always been the skinny guy, right? The guy who could eat anything and not gain anything. But that eventually caught up with him and he didn't look strong and he certainly didn't feel it either. We both looked in the mirror and we knew we were nowhere near our potential. We weren't happy with what we saw, but we didn't know how to change it. And what was funny is we were making progress everywhere else in our lives apart from our own health. As our careers took off, training pretty much disappeared. Life got busy. We had early mornings, late nights, deadlines, commutes, social plans, family plans. Basically, there was something always more important. I was working super long hours, trying to eat whatever was easiest and convincing myself I'd get back on track once things slowed down. But I mean, the reality is working in corporate, they never do. And Sam was doing exactly the same in finance, spending most of his day sitting, commuting and basically trying to hold it together. And by the time he got home, he couldn't even cook a proper meal or go to the gym because training just felt like another job. He was drained. And from the outside, we looked like we were doing well. We were earning, building careers, living the normal routine, but we were both running on empty. The energy, the focus, and the confidence we once had were gone. And it soon stopped being, I'll fix this when life slows down, and eventually became, what if this is just who I am now? Every single morning, I'd button up that shirt, I'd tug it over my belly, and I'd feel that rush of embarrassment even before I even left the house. And Sam felt it too. He'd catch his reflection in the mirror, and he just genuinely looked flimsy, and certainly not the man he envisioned becoming. And to make matters worse, we were showing up for everyone else, our colleagues, friends, family, yet neglecting the one person we're stuck with for life, ourselves. And that's when we realized rock bottom isn't some dramatic event. It's the quiet moment you recognize you're becoming someone you never planned to be. And that's when it hit me one morning before work. I had everything going for me, right? Good job, stable routine, but that one thing lacked. I hated what I saw in the mirror. I looked tired, I looked soft, and nothing like the man I wanted to be. And a few months later, I was at Sam's place telling him I'd had enough and I was ready for making a real change. And that conversation stuck with him. He decided he wanted to start as well, but wanted to remember exactly where he began. And so that picture you see on the right is the one I took for him on that very day. And that is exactly when everything shifted for us. We stopped talking about change and we actually took action. And so we threw ourselves into the deep end. We tried every single so-called optimal gym routine we could find. Push, pull, legs, full body, you name it, 6 days a week, spent hours chasing progress that just never seemed to last. And look, at first it did feel like something was happening, but soon we were constantly sore, drained, and mentally checked out. And effectively, we realized this wasn't sustainable. And we took the same approach with our nutrition as well. We followed the same narrative that everyone preaches. Eat clean, cut carbs, track everything, right? But the reality is we ended up resenting it because at the end of the day, we just looked at food as numbers. And yet we kept pushing forward because we thought that's what discipline looks like. And in the end, all it resulted in was inconsistency with our food. And look, our bodies might have looked a bit better on the surface, but our energy was gone and our minds were in overdrive. And we even picked up injuries pretty much every other month because we didn't know what we were doing. And soon training started to feel like another job, not something that we actually enjoyed anymore. And it became clear at that point that the problem wasn't our work ethic. We were putting in everything we had. We had nothing left to give. The issue was that everything we were doing wasn't designed for our lives. And even when we skipped a session, we felt guilty. We felt like something was missing. And whilst we seem to be getting fitter on paper, this wasn't sustainable in real life. The more we pushed, the more the rest of life suffered. Social plans, family plans, hobbies, even sleep. Basically anything that wasn't training just felt like it was getting in the way of progress. And the worst part is that we actually convinced ourselves that this struggle was normal. Maybe this is what it takes. Maybe I need more discipline. Maybe I'm the problem. Maybe if I can't stay consistent, it's me. And we started to question what we were doing. If staying in shape means sacrificing everything else that matters, then something's got to be wrong with the plan, right? But we kept going, kept chasing our tails until one day we met a coach who told us that we were doing everything wrong, and he completely tore apart our plan. Instead of doing 2-hour workouts, he cut our sessions down to 30 to 45 minutes. Instead of aggressive dieting and calorie obsession, he had us first eat more to fix what was on our plate. Instead of slamming heavy weights and killing our bodies in every workout, he rebuilt our training around maximizing recovery and real life constraints. See, we did the opposite of what we'd been doing for years. Instead, now we were having fewer hours, smarter structure, and habits that we could actually sustain. And in fact, he taught us to avoid stupidity before chasing brilliance. And that mindset shift changed everything. Because when we did it the right way, it took less time and delivered more results. I mean, within a year, progress went from slow to explosive. We built these elite level calisthenics physiques. We started doing muscle ups, one-arm pull-ups, levers, flags, handstand push-ups, all on demand. We were even competing, performing and pushing our limits like never before. And that confidence spilled into everything else that we did. I left my corporate job. I built Versus Gravity from scratch. Sam was climbing the corporate ladder and dominating his field. And since then, we've gone on to do things like running ultra marathons, powerlifting meets, all whilst we've been busier than ever. And look, we're now 30, right? I'm a husband, a father, and yet we're stronger, fitter, and more disciplined than we ever were at 21. By plugging the holes in our health and fitness routine, we were able to grow uninhibited. And that's when I realized so many people are making the same crucial mistake that we did all those years. It wasn't because they were lazy or not motivated enough or didn't want to change. It was that they were overworking themselves for change that didn't have to be that hard. And so after transforming ourselves, we had so many people ask us, guys, how did you do this? Right? And so one question remained in our minds. Could our system work for other people like us with corporate careers, families, busy social lives, and real commitments? And so that's when we dived into coaching and decided to find out. So I want you to meet Nevin, a software engineer who's 26 years old, working super long hours. And he came to us after a serious spinal injury from doing heavy barbell squats, which left him in constant back pain. I mean, he genuinely thought his training days were behind him and feared he'd never move pain-free again. But within just 3 months of rebuilding his body through short and effective calisthenics workouts that centered around recovery, more so than anything else for him, he gained nearly 3 kilos of muscle, eliminated his back pain for good, and unlocked his first muscle up and handstand, all because he started to train smarter and he felt stronger than ever as a result. And what about Joe, working in risk and insurance at 30 years old? He's balancing long hours at work, but also late night studying sessions as well, right? And he felt trapped in that classic skinny fat physique, as you can see on the left, which drained him of any confidence. I mean, social situations were so bad that he was getting anxious, right? And no amount of gym effort he seemed to do changed how he felt or looked. But in just 16 weeks of implementing our system, Joe dropped nearly 8.5 kilos of fat, revealed his abs for the first time, and unlocked his first weighted pull-ups, despite the fact that he couldn't do a single pull-up at the start. And more than just the physical change, he built an unshakable sense of confidence that now shows up in every part of his life. From his relationships to his career, he even went on to run marathons, and now he's doing better than ever. And finally, I want you to meet Lauren. She's 34, a midwife, and is a mother of 3 kids. And working unpredictable shifts as a midwife meant that she struggled for nearly a decade to make progress. Every time she did make progress, life would just get in the way. And so to tackle this, to get her making sustainable, lifelong progress, Instead of working against what her schedule said, we worked with it and built a flexible routine around everything. And in just 16 weeks of working on this system, she lost over 20 pounds of fat, rebuilt her confidence, and finally found a rhythm she could sustain without stepping foot in a gym for life. And the funny thing is, she worked out entirely from home. So our system has worked for people in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, even 60s. People from all variety of backgrounds. Parents, shift workers, people who've never trained before, all the way up to people who are maybe a bit more athletic. And even those coming back from long injuries and breaks. You might be thinking, well, all of that sounds great, but why have I failed in the past? Well, for starters, you probably felt like you didn't have the time. You keep telling yourself you're going to start when life slows down or gets less hectic, but you know as well as I do, being an adult with responsibilities, that day doesn't come. It's not that you don't care, right? You clearly care. You're watching this video. It's just that you're stretched thin between work, relationships, trying to have a life. Fitness always seems to be at the bottom of the list, and it's only natural it is. The problem isn't time. It's not having a structure that works within the time you already have. And look, this second one I have been so guilty of in the past, and I know so many people are as well. You've been training for years, right? But progress has stalled. And the reason is because you're following random workouts online, chasing pumps, trying to learn new skills without a clear plan that's built for you. It's not for a lack of effort, right? It's effort without direction, which is the reason why you're not moving forward. No one's actually ever showed you how to train, eat, and recover in a way that actually builds long-term strength and muscle in a way that's specific to you. Now, I've seen this next one so many times, I can figure it all out on my own. It starts well, you start strong for a few weeks, but then life hits, right? Long hours, stress, missed meals, skipped workouts. Basically, without having someone to keep you accountable, it's so easy to fall off and tell yourself, I'm going to get back on track next week. But if knowledge was all that it took, then everyone would be jacked. There's so much information out there, right? But that's not the reality. The real difference maker for people like you with real responsibilities is accountability. Having someone in your corner, making sure you follow through, even on the weeks when life punches you in the face. And finally, you've probably tried every plan under the sun, right? Gym programs, YouTube tutorials, 6-week challenges, the whole nine. They all fail for the same reason. Right? They weren't built for you. Your body, your schedule, your recovery needs, they are very different to a 20-year-old influencer. What works for them doesn't work for someone with a career, with deadlines, with real responsibilities. So what makes our method built to last different? Well, firstly, it's built for people who want real results without sacrifice. You see, our system is made for those balancing work, family, and everything else that life throws their way. We understand the demands of life. Every phase is structured to fit your schedule, so you can make serious progress without giving up the things that matter most, like birthdays, holidays, time with family and friends. It gives you structure that builds, not burns out. No random workouts or overcomplicated routines you find on Instagram. Instead, each phase follows a clear progression, which helps you get stronger, master skills with your body weight, and sculpts your body whilst managing your recovery and energizing you, no matter what your level. It gives you real coaching and accountability that keeps you consistent, so follow through doesn't depend on motivation. Okay, you're going to get real feedback, expert guidance, and you'll always know exactly what to do every step of the way, so that you'll know what to do and how to adjust when life gets chaotic. And of course, this isn't a 6-week challenge or a temporary fix. We're going to help you build habits, strength, and confidence that stay with you for good, even when the program ends. Once you've joined the program, you'll get instant access to our app where you'll find your very own personalized training and nutrition plan. Inside your training plan, you'll find workouts that are designed for you, time efficient and built around your goals. You'll get notifications reminding you to train, and all you'll have to do is head into the app and start the workout and follow it through. Every single exercise is fit with video tutorials to help you truly understand how to perfect your form, and you'll be able to track your progress with clear milestones at every single step. And of course, you'll be able to schedule your training for anywhere and anytime, whether it's in the gym, at home, at the park, morning or evening, whatever suits you best. Now, if you want to take your training up a notch, you'll also have access to our entire calisthenics blueprint to supplement your training. These programs are designed to help you speed up your progress and enhance your knowledge so that you master your body without wasting hours watching tutorials on social media. We're always adding fresh plans and material here, so no matter your level, we've got you sorted. We're also going to help you master your nutrition without restriction. We'll custom build your nutrition plan fit with macros and calorie adjustments to facilitate your goals, whether that be to burn fat, build muscle, or even both. And you're going to get full access to our Built to Eat recipe library, filled again with macros and calories, completely broken down for you, and with over 120 recipes for you to try. You'll be able to know exactly what you're eating and why, because we're going to give you the systems that work for your real life. No fad diets, no bland food, just actual nutritional education and implementation that helps you build long-term habits and not temporary fixes. Not only are we going to look at your training and nutrition, but we'll also be helping you build winning habits that will help you sustain your progress forever. We'll do this by custom building a simple and easy to follow daily routine, which will be entirely trackable in the app. You'll simply get notifications to your phone when you need to complete a habit, and all you need to do is go ahead and get it done and get it logged. We deliver all of this with expert-led accountability inside our private Discord community. You're going to get regular video analysis and feedback from me, Sam, and the rest of the team, and we'll be on hand to support you whenever you need it. And you're going to be surrounded by a community of like-minded individuals who are pushing towards similar goals. You'll be able to connect with them directly, share wins, ideas, and offer help to one another, and also learn together in our monthly workshops where we discuss and Q&A the topic of your choice in depth. So, if you're someone who's ready to build a strong, lean and capable body that actually lasts without spending hours in the gym, without restricting the foods that you enjoy, without burning out or falling off track again, or without wondering if you're doing the right things, then here's what to do. Send us a DM and we'll talk you through all of the details. Right, Built to Last is not just a training program. It's a blueprint for mastering your body, your habits, and your identity for life. And it all starts with one simple decision: to stop starting over and to finally build something built to last.